mean, I took that as if my child is refusing. Oh, okay. Y'all only on chapter 2? Okay. All right, cool. I ain't gonna tell too much of the book, y'all. I promise I'm not gonna tell too much of it. So I just didn't understand how, if I'm not a parent, but parents, hear me out. If there's somebody in your house that y'all child won't speak to, y'all gonna whoop them? Cause absolutely not. You better go talk to your kid and figure out why your kid doesn't want to talk to that adult. If my child had been respectful up until this moment, if my child, and I raised it, right, we've been in the church and I had a good child, and you mean to tell me you gonna whoop me because I don't want to speak? You better. I was so mad at her mama in the book, y'all. I was mad though. That part made me mad because I'm like, that part really hurt because it's like, this is Melissa's mother. And Melissa's mother is whooping her because she don't want to speak. Hey Mo, I'm glad you back, girl. We got the stuff out of the way. Something was wrong. So that was crazy to me. So it goes on. Melissa doesn't say anything. She doesn't say anything for a while. And then she doesn't say anything for a while. She eventually speaks up. Something happens to where she speaks up. I don't know where y'all at in the book, so I'm gonna leave that to myself. So she finally speaks up. She goes on with her life. We just gonna say she speaks up eventually. Y'all, let's hear that part in the book because I know Patty's reading to y'all. She speaks up and then she goes, she's graduated. She's going on about life and she goes to college. Okay. So she's in school. She meets another friend. The other friend name is Pam. So, okay. Before I say that, before I go into that, thank y'all for the trigger warnings. Before Melissa goes to school, when she outs everybody, says what happened, says what the deacon did, right? Trigger warning. Somebody approaches her from the church and says, she told me that she believed me, but I could not make a fuss because Deacon Calhoun was a pillar in the church and no one was going to do anything about what he had done, even if they believed me. Then he tried to justify it by saying the guy who done it to her had become a pillar in the community and led many people to the saving knowledge of Christ. I said, I know this bitch did not come up to Melissa and say that. No, she did not say that. Girl, you better tell Melissa to get justice. You better tell Melissa to scream it from the rooftops. You better tell Melissa to go to the police. You better tell the church to kick him out. They kept him. Kick him out. Child, it get deep. I was mad. I said, this lady came up to her and said, what? Oh, hell no. So, fast forward, we talk about Pam. Pam and Melissa, I'm going to talk about their duel. Pam and Melissa was a strange duel because they walked two different paths in life, but the same path at the same time. So I'm going to just leave it there. So Pam, I feel like when Melissa met Pam, they were polar opposites that attracted. I'm going to just say that. They were polar opposites that attracted. And that's when Melissa started to unwind. I'm going to just leave it there because I know some of y'all reading the book. She started to unwind. I think May was concerned a little bit because May had really tried to keep her on the straight and narrow. You get what I'm saying? I felt like May tried to keep her on the straight and narrow. Pam, I don't feel like she tried to protect her. Let's just say a situation happened to where Melissa was victimized again. Trigger warning. Melissa was victimized again. She didn't quite know who put her in that situation. She thought it was Pam or this other person. She thought it was Pam or this other person, right? So when she thought it was Pam and this other person, try not to get too much away. Let me see. Oh, so she continued to be friends with Pam. So after this thing happened that she didn't quite remember, she decided to be friends with Pam still. I think she cut her off at some point though. I remember her cutting her off, I think, for a second. Pam likes women too. So keep that in mind. Pam likes women. But anyway, I felt like something happened to Pam that was traumatic, that was a similar experience that happened to Melissa, and they trauma bonded over something. I'm not going to tell y'all what, because I want y'all to buy the book. They trauma bonded. So when they trauma bonded, they got back cool. She got in good graces with her. To the point, okay, so let's back up. Before the trauma bond came with the situation, Pam was introducing her to a lot of these things that was happening, right? So Melissa started to hang out with Pam, party with Pam and stuff like that prior to this incident that happened where she was traumatized again and Pam was involved, and prior to Pam and her going to the situation where they trauma bonded. So this is from the book. She said, this is what Melissa said. I learned a lot more than I signed up for that night. The girls allowed a couple of pledges from one of the frat houses to come over. I saw 2 girls to 1 guy, even 3 girls to 1 guy. It was crazy because they had them bound and gagged, walking around like little puppies. Pam came to me with her pet and asked if I wanted to tame him. I told her that I needed to get some alcohol in me before I could do anything. That part right there, I was like, oh, that's some boss bitch shit. Like, I was like, go ahead, sexuality, do what y'all do. Yeah, I don't know. I was weird. I was kind of happy for that. So, okay, I just want to tell y'all that. I was happy. I was like, them girls over there running trains on them boys. All right, boom. So, everything happens. Pam and Melissa go on to have like this sort of relationship. I'm not gonna say what type of relationship. Let's just say they had a relationship. So things happened within that relationship. They were also shunned by the church. It was really crazy. Later on, something I can't remember, y'all. Sorry, I wrote notes too. Later on, something happens, and Pam goes back on like this downhill spiral. And speaking like an auntie and not a mama, this is horrifying to me. Yeah, it is. So Pam goes down this spiral. They have this relationship going on, and it comes out that Pam caused the trauma that happened that I was talking about before. So she cuts Pam off. Then she starts dating. So, okay, I do want to talk about homosexuality in the church because at parts of the book talks about homosexuality in the church. I think that it is crazy for people to be Christians and judge other people. And when the homosexuality part came up in the book, like people were shunned away. Like people shunned these people away. And I just didn't understand that. And I never will understand that because homosexuality wasn't even in the Bible till like the 1980s or something more. When was it? 1980s, 1950s, 60s, something like that. So it's weird that in church, people use the Bible to shun homosexuality when it wasn't even part 1940s. Thank you. When it wasn't even part of the Bible. Man put it there. Man put it there. So that was crazy. So she goes on, and all this time, like, I feel like Melissa is trying to keep her faith, but she keeps getting put into these situations to where she's losing faith in the church and the people in the church, right? So then she meets, is it Donald? I think it's Donald. Yeah. She meets somebody else, right? Yep. She meets somebody else in the church, right? When she meets this other person, guess what? Trigger warning. She goes through domestic abuse. No shocker there. So you got her already going through trigger warning essay. Then she was traumatized again. And now she going through domestic abuse. Trigger warning. All of these people is church people. They all church people. Bruh. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. They were all church people, and some of the church people knew that these other people were bad. I'm gonna just say that. They knew that these other people were bad, and they turned a blind eye to it. So she ends up leaving. She graduates from college, yada, yada, yada. She graduates. She leaves the guy, thank God. She goes with her friend, May. So then she's with May. So it's like a new start. And honestly, when you are traumatized by a domestic trigger warning, a domestic situation, an essay situation, or any type of situation that causes you some type of trauma, a fresh start is always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's always a good thing. Leave shit behind, try to heal and move past. And I feel like that's what she tried to do. So she does that. She moves away. She moves with her friend. So I'm going to read this. Texas was proven to be very fruitful. I promise I felt as though I made it to the promised land. Everything was going so perfect, and I could not wish for anything better. May and I sat on the porch laughing and joking as if our lives had been this way. We were so grounded and settled. I looked at May and told her I was ready to share my story and maybe help someone from my experience. Thank you so much, Danny. That was crazy, because trigger warning. She had been through essay, DV, bunch. She was partying, the traumatic situation with Pam, outed from the church for being liking women. And here she is with her friend. Remember, May was the friend in the beginning. May was a rider. Shout out to May, period. Okay? May the friend that you need. So she goes to Texas, and she's just like, this is a breath of fresh air to me, you know? So she goes to Texas. They start a business together. I'm not going to give too much. So they start a business. I'm giving a lot, but my bad, y'all. She started a business. Business was going so good. Like, business was booming. Life was moving. The business, one of them was centered around domestic violence. So, without giving away too much, Melissa finally gets the courage to speak out. Like, somewhere in the book, Melissa gets the courage to really speak on her situation. She had already been helping people. Their names start getting known everywhere. And she was helping people. And May was helping people. So they started getting known. But nobody knew her story. Her original story of SA, trigger warning. Nobody knew that original story. I mean, some people. I wouldn't say nobody. So there were certain people. Oh, and through all of this, she did end up meeting some nice people from the church. I'm gonna just leave it there. She met some nice people from the church. Okay, boom. So eventually, I'm gonna get to this. So eventually, the deacon who essayed her trigger warning, he get caught up in some stuff later on in the book. So this part said, May had a long talk with me. She told me that it was time for me to become the face of Saving Place and all that it encompassed. I had been hiding behind domestic abuse and never revealed that I also suffered being raped as a young girl. God was presenting me with yet another opportunity to help others overcome obstacles, and I had no choice but to answer. So that's what I mean, that she was given a courage. And May was a really supportive friend during that time too. Okay, so now where are we at, huh? Oh, okay. Hold on, y'all. Let me get to this. All right. So Melissa was hiding a very big secret from Marvin. I'm not going to give it out, but there was a very, very, very big secret that she was hiding. She was hiding a secret, and he was upset about this secret or whatever. He was really upset. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So Marvin was upset about two things. He was upset that she had. First of all, Marvin, he blew up at her. He blew up at Melissa. So remember I said in the beginning that Marvin was like, it don't matter. I love you either way. So once Marvin started hearing like she was in this entanglement with Pam, that's what I'm talking about. Her and Pam was sleeping together. I gotta let the cat out the bed. They were sleeping together. They was in a lesbian relationship. Once the cat was out of the bag on everything, not quite everything, because everything. The lesbian, because baby, let me tell y'all, Melissa was sucking eggplant in the bathroom in the beginning of the book, y'all. So he was mad. Marvin was like, bruh, you was sucking eggplant and you was licking crotch. Baby, what else you got to tell me? What else you got to tell me? There was another part. I don't want to give away that part. So he was really upset about her being a lesbian, her doing all of this stuff. He stormed out. Like, and when I say he stormed out, y'all, I'm saying like I was there. I wasn't even there. It was in the book. When I say he stormed out, Melissa was like, baby, no. But so all this explaining, they're in a therapy session. So she like, baby. And she wasn't really like that, but that's how I'm gonna say it. So, baby. And then he was like, you a scarlet whore. You know, whatever the church people say. He called it, he said something. So then she was like, no. And in my mind, I imagine she was at his ankles. This is in my mind, y'all. This is in my mind. And he was dragging her on the ankles like, I'm out of here. And he did not come back. He did not come back. Yes, this is my audition for the movie. He did not come back. He closed that door and he didn't talk to her. Now, remember I said that okay, so let me back up because I kind of got out of order. When the deacon who essayed her trigger warning when she was a child, he got caught up. She wasn't talking to him. She wasn't talking to him. She wasn't talking to Marvin. But anyway, because at first she was really scared to date Marvin because she didn't trust nobody. But he was real persistent and he was actually there through a lot of her, some shit with her, outside of the shit he didn't know. So anyway, so Marvin storms out, but then they sat down and they talked to another pastor. They straightened everything out, y'all. They straightened everything out. Marvin was like, baby, I'm sorry. And the one big secret that she was holding, he accepted. And if y'all, I'm not going to give away the end of the book, but the end of the book was really sweet. How just the life had went. You get what I'm saying? I do want to say that sometimes I want to talk about her being an advocate. for a second, because she was an advocate for real. And she was holding back. And I think a lot of advocates hold back. I do. I think a lot of advocates probably started holding back and wanting to just help people. And I feel like that's what it was for her. She really just she gives she gives I got this. Y'all talking about me? But I really feel like Melissa was holding back because even though she could help others, it was very hard for her to face her trauma in front of everybody. She was able to help other people, but I don't think she wanted everybody to know about certain things. Now, some people knew about the domestic violence situation because it was recorded. So it was wild. You knocked yourself out? It's okay, Aquarius. But some people knew about that, but I think, I don't know. She goes on to come to terms with an agreement with Marvin. I don't know. It was really, really good, y'all. Yeah, it was really good. Y'all got to get it. So another thing, letting go to heal. I wrote that down because I felt like towards the end too, she had to, because she went through this situation. I'm not gonna say what it was, but she went through this situation where I feel like that particular situation, it had to do with one of May's family members was in the hospital. I think was really sick. I think it was her grandma. And that situation and the therapy between all of that, Melissa had to let go. And sometimes you gotta let go of the shit, the trauma, trigger warning. If you were SA'd, if you were domestic violence, any of those situations. I'm not saying let go as to forget about it, but I feel like once she kind of like was, I got it out, I got in front of it, I told my man, she let it go. Like, she was able to then start healing and just walking her truth. And it was just a really good, for me, it was a really good moment. I don't know about Melissa, but she just was free. I've been in domestic situations before, for sure. And there's nothing freer than telling your story. One day I'll tell y'all about my domestic situations. Not now. Y'all know the enemy's gonna use it against me too when I tell y'all. I've talked about it on other platforms. I haven't brought it to TikTok though, but not fully. But it was a really good book. It was really real. Yes, you have to stop carrying on your shoulders. Be free. It was really real. It was really raw. It was a really good book. So I'm waiting on part 2. Mo, send me part 2. Send it over to me, Mo. Damn it now. But I like the way that it was. It really was like, you have to let go of some things or whatever. But it also opened your mind up to like the shit in the church, whether you want, I don't care if you're religious or not. I don't practice organized religion. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm gonna get out the camera, y'all, because I want to smoke. But I'm not religious. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like if you're not religious, if I know that the shit is wrong, how do these religious people not know that the shit is wrong? You are in the church. And if somebody come to you about something, y'all hiding it? Thank you, Closet Talk. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo, girl. I can't wait for the second one. Church folks are just that folk. Yeah. They know, but like many, they don't acknowledge mistakes. They double down. She gonna come up here, y'all. Boom. Look at the author herself making an appearance. Give it up for Mo.
Hey. Listen. So what people got to understand, you got to separate church and folk.
right? Because a lot of the stuff that's going on has nothing to do with the church itself and everything to do with the folk of the church. People will cover things like that up as to not kill the reputation of the church. When it's not the reputation of the church that has a problem, it's the damn folks that have the problem. And until people are willing to be transparent, you're going to keep running into this. That's why a lot of young people today don't fuck with the church. Because the church tell too many lies and cover up too many secrets while telling you got to live this perfect ass life, right? Or as near perfect as possible. And so people don't want to be bothered with that. People want to be bothered with real. They want to relate. They don't want to feel judged. They want to feel relatable. And then when they tell you that something is wrong, one of the things with that part of the book, where the part you were talking about where you said her mother should have known something is wrong. Do you know how many of us that lived through being either sexually assaulted or molested as a child just wish our parents would have realized something changed about us? Because there was always a sign there. The problem is we missed those signs. That was a sign. That was a red flag to her mother, for her mother to scream out, baby, what's wrong? You've never been disrespectful to me. You've never defied me. What is wrong?
Yep.
And so we miss those things, right? And then we put these hangups on the quote unquote church when it's not the church that's the problem. It's the people that's the problem, right? And these people, if they like the person, it's so acceptable. I'm going to say something, it's controversial. People going to disagree, people going to agree. How many people believe in these comments right now, if anybody else had said it was okay to grab a woman by the pussy, they would have been their ass in jail? But Donald Trump said it and no one flinched that follow him, that really are his followers and believers. This is why I always say, guys, separate the person from the problem. Just look at the problem. You need to give blind judgment when you're doing this, because if you have a person attached to it, you are going to render a biased opinion, period. We can't get away from it. That's why it's so important for us to pull out the information, to pull out the problem and talk only about that, not about the person. Exactly, Aquarius, because it was the person. This is the problem that we're going to constantly keep facing. If we don't learn to separate, we're going to constantly keep facing that problem. So I'm hoping that this book and the next two does what I set out for it to do. I want people to learn to think for themselves, get out of groupthink, and really think for themselves and learn to separate people from problems and problems from people. That way you can render the best judgment based on the problem itself. Because if it's a problem with it when you don't know the people, then it should still be a fucking problem with it when you know the people. That shouldn't change. This is how the lines get blurred with right is right and wrong is wrong. Hello. That's how we end up with blurred lines, because people are willing to bend if they like the person, or they're willing to go full force, full-fledged, nail them to the cross if they dislike the person. And that should not. It should not be. Now, I know you read this book. We're going to talk behind the scenes because I wanted to know, did you pick up on certain things? I want you to know, we ain't going to say no names, but a certain person had this book before those false allegations came around. You going to find that a little funny?
We'll talk. As soon as I get off this line, I'll call you. But look, just so y'all know, when I do book reviews, I don't be talking to the author beforehand.
Yeah, she wouldn't tell me how she felt, nothing like that.
I ain't tell her nothing.
She said she would tell me nothing. She didn't
I'm
say
gonna do the
that.
same thing to Cuban when I read Cuban book.
Yeah,
I'm
she didn't
gonna
say
hit her
that.
up and let her know that I'm gonna
Those
do
are
a
the
lot.
best kind of things. Though that I mean, that's the best way because again, she's rendering an unbiased opinion. She's the things that you picked up on. It was perfect. The things that you picked up on. But one thing that I wanted to say, since you said it, I wanted to say it. So in this book, you have a lot of broken spirit. In reading this book, you're going to be triggered, especially if you've suffered any of these things. The part that you talked about with her in college and going to the sorrow party.
Mm-hmm.
So leading up to that, women had lost their power. So that part of the book was me once again empowering the women. I was giving them back their power because of all the power that they had that had been taken and stolen from them. I wanted them to get their power back. So they were able to have power over the men and they could relate that to all the men that they lost their power to. That was the purpose of that scene in the book.
That's
Just
so
so you
crazy that you said that. And this is why I didn't talk to her beforehand because that's what I got from that. That's why I was
know,
like,
Smack King.
King, I don't have the bonnet on because of you.
I'm a Smack King.
Because you
Yes.
told me not to go in with this bonnet on. And if you was going to talk shit.
One of the things that I learned early on is when you break somebody down, you have to be sure to build them back up. Don't don't leave on breaking the people down. And those stories, they're triggering because a lot of people relate to them. You see the back of the book. Let me grab a book so I can read the back of the book to you guys. I'm just going to read that back cover. And I want y'all to understand there were literally people that reached out to me that told me if they had ever told me their story in real life that they would have sued me because they
Ooh.
would have swore to God I was writing their story.
Oh, wow.
That's how real this book is to so many people. So on the back of the book, I said there is some part of this book that each one of us can relate to, whether by personal experiences or by proxy. Uncross the Church's Legs is a movement. It is a call to action. And that is exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want people, you're going to be able to identify with this trilogy some way, some shape, somehow. If it didn't happen to you, you know somebody that it happened to, or you have seen a news story. Either way, you're going to be able to relate to it. And baby, if you wanted to stone me in book 1, you're going to want to quarter my ass in book 2.
Now my sister talking about if only my sister break me my motherfucking book. It's coming. I will
I
see you
fussed at her,
soon.
just so you know. I fussed at her.
She did fuss at me too.
Get her her book. Get her her book. And
She
I
fussed
don't
at
know
me.
how many books I'm going to have left for the book club because I did order a couple extra. I don't know. Because I'm gonna let those that are a part of the book club and that pre-ordered, I'm gonna let them keep the book for like 3 weeks before I actually release book 2. Just so y'all know. So yeah, there is that. But book 2 is good, y'all. Book 2 is the shit. I'm telling you. And book 2 it touch a little more too on homosexuality in the church and the problem that the church have with homosexuality. But they will use people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're willing to look over it if they have the ability to use the people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just so y'all know, I'm going to get my behind back in these comments. I just want to come up and clarify a few things.
Thank you for coming up for sure.
I ain't reading the second one. You know what? King want to fight.
Nah, he ain't reading the second one. And sister, I see why you dipped out. You said you didn't want to spoil the book. Thank you so much, Mom, for coming up. You didn't want the book spoil. I don't think I gave away too many details, did I? I probably did, y'all. I probably just gave the whole book to y'all. They started leaving like, oh, she telling it all. But King, get out of here talking about you ain't gonna read book 2, only book 3. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. So overall, y'all, y'all see, I'm gonna go ahead and pin. That's who you order the book from. It's been out since 2018. So that's who you contact right there. I just India Wash. I just tagged her, pinned her comment, Closet Talk 1-on-1. Go ahead and connect with her, send her a follow, and send her a message. She will let you know how to order the book. So please, please, please go order the book today. Yeah, order it. Go order it. Delivery is very simple. She's gonna send you your tracking number. She's gonna send you all your stuff, and your book gonna come. Boom. Order the book. Order the book. Order the book. Order the book. Cause I'm waiting on part 2. So this is the next book, y'all. Let me show y'all the next book. My sister read this book already. All right, so this is my, okay, so y'all gotta give me feedback because feedback is a gift. Feedback is a gift. So this is my first live about a book review. How y'all think I did? Was I okay? Did I give y'all too much information? Did I make y'all want to go buy the book? I had took notes so that I can talk about certain key points. Thank you, Ray. Hey, Ray, girl. Hey, Ray. Look, my sister said too much info. Okay. All right, y'all. So I give less info. I'll take that feedback. I'll take that feedback. Oh, back was with the kids. Yeah, you want to buy it? Perfect. I'm so happy that you want to buy it. Okay, so you did good. I got to finish the book now. Okay, y'all leave if y'all really don't want to know the ending so she can tell me real quick. Could have read the back. Y'all are funny. Okay, so a little less details on the book. Okay. Y'all need the audio version. Y'all gotta talk to Mom about the audio version. I'm just the book reviewer. Yeah, I'm gonna ask Mo behind the scenes how I did. I'm gonna ask her behind the scenes, okay? I'm gonna ask her behind the scenes. Yeah, it's not really the end. Gotta finish reading it. Y'all definitely finish reading it. I know some people probably stepped out too because I was giving details of the book. I didn't know that Petty was reading the book to the pushers. Okay, pushers, tell Petty this my next book now. Tell her we can't be. This the next book. This is the next book. This is the next book. But if that ass stay on TikTok. Listen, this is the next book. Oh, that's so awesome, Tashi. I didn't even know that. I haven't caught those lives. Are y'all on the Zoom with it? So this is the next one. I'm probably not gonna start it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I might start it this weekend. This one might take me a little bit longer. I have a plane. I'm going out of town next week, so I'm really gonna take this with me while I'm on a plane. I'm gonna read it. So I'm probably gonna start it this weekend or sometime next week. Take it on a plane with me and read it. Take my notes, and then we'll come back. My sister read this book, so hopefully maybe she'll join me in the live, and she'll talk about the book too. Aquarius, you keep going out. Now I don't do reviews. Here she go. You bringing the rosemary water spray? I'm not bringing it with me. Sis, you said that you would do a review with me. I feel like we had this conversation. But maybe we didn't. I don't know. But I'm about to go, y'all. I just wanted to come on and tell y'all to go get the book. This is what it is again. Go get it. Go get it now. Go get it now. Right now. And if there's ever a movie, my sister gonna be an actress. I'm her agent. If there's ever a movie, I'm her agent. And I'm putting her in there. She gonna derail the movie. She gonna be like, she gonna be a diva too. I can see her walking in like, that's how she would walk in. She was walking in like that. She would make that move too. Blaze, my agent, it suits. It's the not Sister Blaze. Not Sister Blaze. Not Sister Blaze. Not you pinning your comment. Not you pinning the comment. I'm gonna get out of here because my sister out of control, y'all. She's out of control. Sister, I'm gonna call you first. King, you get out too. Bye, y'all. Y'all ain't so silly. Sister, I'm about to call you. And then Mo, I'll call you after I talk to my sister.